It's my deep pleasure to introduce the speaker today. It's Sharon Solomon, the wife of our founder, Paul Solomon, for those of you who don't know her. And she's a lifelong friend to me, like a sister. I first met Sharon in the mid-'70s. And the second I saw her, there was that soul recognition of, oh, you showed up, okay, now we can do what we're doing. That kind of feeling, perhaps you've all had that with somebody in the past or now. And so we were working on the old mechanical typewriters. We didn't even have electric ones yet, let alone computers, typing up lectures of Paul's and readings. And I think our first project was when we worked together on New Light on Ancient Scriptures. And we would just laugh and have such joy together doing that. And so I've had many adventures with Sharon throughout the years. Rainbow's daughter calls her the baby, because I was joking once when they were visiting, and I said, shh, be quiet, you'll wake the baby. So she still calls you that. So she's young and she's old, and she's the baby. And she plays many, many roles, and has. You can't even name them all. To me, it would be like trying to lasso the wind or something to describe Sharon. And through the years, she's been behind the scenes a lot, just doing whatever was needed that was in front of her, or to help the people who were doing the stuff out front, and helping Paul, who became her husband. And she's always encouraged everyone to be who they are. And she's always happy when any one of us overcomes something or triumphs in some way or expresses in some loving way. She's so encouraging, and I thank you for that, Sharon. And our speakers can speak because we open our hearts and our minds, and I know we're that way right now. And so let's bring Sharon up with a warm fellowship welcome. Is this good like that?
Yeah.
There we go. I'm sure. There. Not down there. You have to be up more there.
Okay, in the Jewish religion, it's said that between the high holy days of the New Year and the day of Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, or the Day of At-One-ment, the heavens are open, especially, and God hears our prayers. And each of us has a book of life. And during this week, it is written in our book of life, the angel writes what's going to happen to us in the next year. We say a prayer, who shall live and who shall die, who shall perish by fire and who by water. And it used to freak me out pretty much because I pictured this little old man up there in heaven writing all these things in this little book, and if you said the wrong thing, you cross out your life and put this bad thing that's going to happen to you. They have to be especially nice this week. But it's and it does not mean that the heavens are going to be open for the hurricane either, which happened during this week. But it's a time to people, Jewish people all over the world, especially, are thinking about their relationships and how to form better relationships. And it's said that you have to make amends and seek forgiveness from people that you know before God will forgive you. So it's a time to go to other people and ask for forgiveness and start thinking. I started thinking about all of the people through the years that I've felt that I had to forgive. And this year has been, these last 3 years have been especially challenging for me. And I think I've forgiven people, and then all of a sudden there's this little thing that says, well, they did this to me, and how dare they? And I have to remind myself that forgiveness is not for the other person, forgiveness is for me. And if I want to live in peace and joy and love in my life, then I have to take that step and forgive the other people. I had an interesting experience with that, with someone who I thought did something really horrendous to me that actually totally did not deserve my forgiveness, and that would never happen. And I was quite insistent of that until one day I was doing my meditation and I got this image of the two of us flying kind of overhead, and then all of a sudden I heard the wedding song, and I realized that this was my marriage in my next life if I didn't learn to forgive this person. So therefore, I said, okay, I forgive you. Now, even more difficult than that was learning to forgive myself for putting myself in a situation that needed forgiveness. Like that, I think many of you can identify with that. And as I was meditating for this talk today, I was trying to think of the best way of communicating and to help us all have an experience of forgiveness today of anybody who has wronged you through the years and of yourself. And I remembered Paul Solomon's meditation on self-love, and I've decided to offer that to you, that we can all do this meditation on self-love, and we have the opportunity to forgive ourselves and others. And I'm going to ask Lloyd to play it for us now. So close your eyes and get yourself into a relaxed position. I think you're going to enjoy this, and hopefully you'll have an experience of forgiving yourself and others.
Now, with your eyes closed, take a deep breath and fill your lungs from the bottom to the top. Stretch your chest and sigh it out. And let yourself float away to the meadow again. Let's go back to the meadow and begin to see the grass, the hills and the trees, the sky, the water. Get in the meadow, feel the grass under your feet, almost a ticklish sensation of crisp, cool, green grass that you're walking through, maybe barefoot. Feel the grass under your feet. Smell the freshness of the air, feel the sunlight on your skin, feel a breeze, listen to the rushing, bubbling sound of the water and the rustling of the leaves and the trees. Feel and see and hear and taste and touch. In the meadow, be there. Don't just imagine it, be there. Get into this reality and make it real. And in this beautiful reality, let yourself try to feel the exhilaration of a person who has not a care in the world, being in the middle of a warm, beautiful meadow, on vacation, free. Feel a kind of exhilaration in the air. Maybe the kind of a feeling in the air that is clean and cool after a rain. That kind of freshness in the air. And you can feel it, and you can breathe it, and you can experience that kind of joy, exhilarated feeling. And I want you to look across that meadow, and I want you to try to see you coming toward you. The you that you always have been. The you that you have had to live with. The you with all the things that you have thought about you. You, with all of your opinions about you, the old you, is coming toward you. I want you to look at you, look into your eyes, and I want you to say to you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the times that I haven't loved you as much as I have loved others, or tried to. Say to yourself, I'm sorry that I haven't thought of you as being as worthy of my love as others are. I'm sorry for times that I haven't been especially good to you. I'm sorry for times that I have mistreated and accused you. And now, I do love you. I do recognize that you're all right. I'll stop accusing you of not being the best me that you could be. I commit myself to loving me. Say to yourself, say to me, I love you. I love me. I love being me. See yourself, image yourself throwing your arms around yourself and holding this child that is you, that you've given birth to, that you haven't loved enough. Hold that child and comfort and love yourself a lot. See if you can feel warmth and acceptance and energy and beauty and joy going out of your heart and into you, your heart. I love you. I love me. I find it all right to look the way I do. I find it all right to function the way I do, to be the way I am. I'm deciding in this moment to be all right with me. I'm making that decision right now. I'm going to enjoy being me now and from this day forward, with whatever things that I have felt bad about, whatever things that I've accused myself of, whatever opinions I've had about myself. Those opinions may have been all right. Maybe I have made mistakes. Of course I have. I have done antisocial things. Of course I have. I have violated the rules. Of course I have. I have fallen in trying to walk like any child does. I have made mistakes. And I have deliberately done things that were unkind or wrong to others and to me. I forgive me for all those things. I am forgiven. I feel forgiven. And it is all right in this moment. I am all right. It is all right that I have done these things. It is all right even if I do them in the future. I am not promising that I will be perfect. I am promising that I will give myself permission to be imperfect and happy anyhow. I am giving myself permission to be imperfect and joyous. I'm giving myself permission to fail and be joyous. I'm giving myself permission to succeed without fear, without being afraid of the responsibility of success. I give myself permission to fail at some things, to succeed at some things, to make mistakes, to do things right, to be absolutely beautiful and not afraid of the responsibility of being joyously beautiful. I give myself permission to be beautiful. I give myself permission to be ugly sometimes, and still to love myself. I forgive the times that I haven't done my best, and I accept that it is all right that sometimes I won't. But I still love me. I love you, me. Say it. Say it inside yourself, to yourself. Me, I love you. Use your own name. Inside yourself, say your name and say, I love you. And I want to be a good me. I want to enjoy being me. Let's do it. Me and me. Let's enjoy being who I am. Now feel warm and beautiful and good about yourself. And give thanks. Now I want you to notice a presence behind you, perhaps overshadowing you, maybe around you. The presence is a presence that you could call God, the source of life, the source of yourself, the source of your existence. There's God. And to you, in this moment, he looks just like a daddy that has a little child that he's so proud of that he's about to bust. And then you realize you're that child. That's the kind of relationship you have. And the Father looks at you, the source of life looks at you and says, my child, of course she's made mistakes. Of course she's been mean, has failed, has succeeded, has been beautiful, has been ugly, has been good, has been bad, but it's my kid. Let yourself feel loved by the source in the same way that a very proud parent feels about a child. Of course that child fails, but that doesn't mean the child is not perfect. Let yourself feel as if God's opinion of you is that you are perfect just because you are his kid. And he is a proud source of your life and loves you deeply. And see if you can listen inside you and hear your name called with the words, I love you, you're mine. And see if you can communicate to the source of life, to God as you know him, and say, I love you. And I'm sorry for all of the times that I have misunderstood what you really are and how you feel about me. I'm sorry I didn't recognize how much you love me and how much you accept me and how much it is all right with you when I fail, even deliberately. I'm going to accept and believe that you love me and feel good about it. Now, while you and God are feeling good about being you, I'd like you to see if you can see the image of your parents. Your mother, see her face. Your father, see his face. And begin to communicate with them. And let your mother try to explain to you that she didn't know how, maybe, to say, I love you. Maybe she didn't know how to explain to you how acceptable you are. Maybe she didn't know how to make you feel beautiful. And see if you can experience from her heart the truth that you are all right with her. And say to your mother, you're all right with me, even if you were incapable of teaching me as I think you should have. I forgive you, and I love you, and you are all right. My relationship with you is all right. I will think of you in a beautiful way, like a person who tried to love, who tried to teach, who gave it maybe your best shot. Or maybe you didn't, but even if you didn't, I have made mistakes too. I love you, I forgive you, I accept you. I want a right relationship with you, my mother and my father. I want a right relationship with you. I want to forgive you. The times that you were not able to say, I'm proud of you. The times that you were not able to say, I love you. The times that you tried to make me what you thought I should be rather than what I am. I forgive that. I look at it. I'm honest. I don't feel guilty for having hated you. I don't feel guilty for that. I needed that. To assert my independence, to assert my individuality. I'm going to give up my guilt. I'm going to drop it right now. I'm going to drop the guilt that I feel about my relationship with my parents for the time that I have thought, I wish you didn't exist. I wish you were dead. I wish I didn't have you. I wish I had some other parents. I'm going to drop the guilt for feeling that. I'm going to admit that I felt it. Drop the guilt. Recognize you for what you are. People who did their level best. And however good or bad that is beside the point. I accept you, and I love you, and I want a right relationship with you. I want to be finished with trying to please you and feeling that I fail. I want to stop looking for you in other people and trying to form a right relationship with you in relationships with others. I want to finish with that. I just want to say, I love you. I want to make my relationship right with you. I want to forgive you. I want to be forgiven by you. I want to be all right with me and with you. Now see if you can communicate that to your mother and to your father. See if you can hold each of them. Even if they never held you. Even if you've never hugged either of them, or one of them or the other, hug them now. And see if you can feel them, him, her, hugging you with enthusiasm in return. And see if you can hear something coming from deep inside each of them saying, I love you, I'm proud of you. Now, see if you can image the people around you, your close friends, the people you work with, maybe your employer, maybe your co-workers. I want you to try to feel what it would feel like if each one of them, see their faces now, each one of them is thankful for knowing you, proud to have you with them. See if you can imagine what it is like for your employer to feel that he or she is lucky to have you. And the people around you feel fortunate to be able to work with you. Feel it. See what that feels like. Feel as if you are an asset. Say to yourself, I am an asset to the people I work with. And I'm not ashamed to admit they're darn lucky to have me because I'm loving, I am capable, and I'm willing to give, I'm willing to help. I don't resent, I don't feel that people are trying to get more of me than I want to give. I have plenty to give anyway. See if you can feel that and feel all right with it. And say to those who have demanded too much, see their face now, and say, I forgive you. Gosh, could we just make our relationship right now, inside me? I want to make my relationship right with you, whether you can respond or not. I want to communicate to you Those of you who've had a wrong relationship with me, I want to communicate to you. I forgive you, and I am absolutely determined to love you because I'm all right with me and I want to be all right with you. And last, your partner, the person you live with, the person you're sharing your life with, hold their image closely and see if you can communicate to their heart right now. And say to that partner, I'm sorry for the times that I have taken out on you what I believed about my parents, what I believed about others. I've tried to make you play a wrong role. I've tried to manipulate you to say what I wanted you to say when I felt like I wanted you to say I love you. I tried to manipulate you into doing so. I failed to admit when I wanted you to talk, tried to make you do it. Listen, forgive me all that. And I forgive you for when you've done it with me. And I want to clean up our relationship and start communicating straight. Quit playing games. I want to be all right with me, confident, in love with me, and able to love you as much as I love me, and as much as I want you to love me. I want to clean up our relationship. I want to communicate clearly. I want to take responsibility for how I feel. Forgive me for blaming you. I will try not to. But I won't feel guilty when I do. I will simply try to reconstruct it. Say to your partner, let's form a new life, a new relationship, and give thanks for this opportunity. Now with your eyes closed, gently, wrap your arms around yourself. And with your eyes still closed, hug yourself. And say, I love me. It feels good to be me. I'm glad I'm me. I'm glad I'm here. And I want to feel good with being who I am and what I am. And give thanks. Then you can breathe deeply, stretch, yawn, smile. Open your eyes and reach out and touch someone.
And if we can...
You know, I feel like I want to say right now.
Okay, turn it off. Alright, if we can keep that state of consciousness, it's going to be a wonderful year. The greeting that the Jewish people give each other during this week is, may you be inscribed in the book of life. In Hebrew, it's Lashana Tova Tikaseru. And I wish to each of you, have a wonderful year. May you be inscribed in the book of life. Thank you.